At the period of year, the gauchos are out in strength. Dressed in trousers and neckerchiefs and tiring broad-brimmed thick felt hats, the human beings of Rio Grande do Sul include fair completed celebration Semana Farroupilha, Vagabond 1 week. It is an yearly fest how symbolism a 19th century rebellion while the area tested to individual of the otherwise of Brazil. Just it did not, the country of Rio Grande do Sul remained Brazilian. But it is yet an pretext for a side. Human beings there are pride of their legacy. In several ways, they include more than in overall in their gaucho-loving neighbors Uruguay and Argentina rather than they do in some components of Brazil. And how makes for exciting policy in the prudent southward. One of the big events at Vagabond 1 week is the rodeo. Both of men and female, all tiring their conventional broad-brimmed thick felt hats, install their horses, lasso tool in brush, and show their wrangler skills to the ecstatic auditorium. A columnist speaks at dizzy rate. Each min or so, a ox dashes through the box, clothes accompanied by a horseman cast their cord. 19-year-old undergraduate Huelin Carao is meeting on the rodeo stay in her gaucho thick felt bonnet. The occasion is a bit of lighting ease. In less than rather than 2 weeks up the at first circle of president elections, policy is the theme of largest conversations at the time. All you can do is laughter vary, she says of the candidates on propose the year. I've no concept who to voice to. No does whatever for the human beings any more than. Brazil is surely separated. Distant right applicant Jair Bolsonaro is anticipated to win the largest votes in the at first circle on October 7, accompanied by leftward winger Fernando Haddad, who replaced ex-CEO Luiz Taísio Lula da Silva as the workers' side applicant. On the some party of the rodeo box, a team of female are host a colonialist chike. A large rib of bovine is on the barbecue. Claudia Matiello and Raquel Oliveira are friends, but while it comes to policy they do not see sight to sight. I'm vote for Bolsonaro since I trust in changing and same's departure to revolutionize Brazil, says Claudia. Raquel shakes her chief in hopelessness. She is vote for Haddad since she thinks he is the just man who can get Brazil behind on the order economical path. I ask her which she thinks on Claudia vote for Bolsonaro. She'll see the ensuing consequences quickly quite, she laughs. But through city in Brazil's senior gun clubhouse, Bolsonaro would win hands down. This speech, procedure and advance are spelled on the Brazilian banner, says proprietor Dempsey Magaldi. Yet down there's full disturbance and havoc in the nation, we've achieved a range. He's almost civilian warfare. He says 80% of the clubhouse's new members begin training to fire since of safety concerns. Human beings wish to be capable to protect themselves since they say the government is incapable to defend them. Comrade sharpshooter and gun store owner Enrique Nogueira agrees. In village Rio Grande do Sul, he says he and his friends all wish to voice for Jair Bolsonaro since same's the applicant who backs losing gun laws in answer to growing abuse. Enrique remembers the period while Brazil was by war guideline of 1964 to 1985 tenderly. It is a time in that hundreds of human beings were annihilated or disappeared, but Enrique says they were year of advance, while laws were respectable and down there was more than subject. He thinks how while democratic state was recovered and the leftward took force down there was an reversal of values. Police force were seen as criminals, and the criminals the nice folks. Now thou revision the results, he says, relating to the recording 63,880 homicides in Brazil recent year. This just stock option to rotate the about is Bolsonaro. Called this myth by his fans, Jair Bolsonaro has a worship next. They appear to overlook, or disregard, the contentious things he has told. He said a congressman she was too hideous to be abused. He has as well told how he would quite include a corpse son rather than a gay child. But advocate Felipe Moreira Gil will not include a bad speech told on Jair Bolsonaro, or the war. He is tiring a t-shirt in a image of Carlos Alberto Brilhante Ustra on the front line. The deceased troop colonel was charged of order the illicit detention and torment of 500 leftward-wing activists by war guideline. Same's the largest character of the Brazilian human beings, he says. He secured them of leftward-wing terrorists. Jair Bolsonaro has as well talked tenderly of war guideline in the history. It wouldn't be a bad concept, says Felipe, of the concept of back to a war led by the government. Yet he's not a opportunity at the time. Bolsonaro will be CEO, so down there's no cause to organize a resist revolution. Regina Brunet, 21, is concerned. She is out campaign for Fernando Haddad in Center Porto Alegre. If human beings don't include jobs, gateway get more than unsafe, and Bolsonaro appeals to how sense, she says. He stands for a drastic changing, but he's not a changing how would assist human beings. It will just do it worst. Bolsonaro advocate Katia Rosa Maciel Broca disagrees. Trump cards change the US isn't same, she says. Human beings are persistent to changing since they're out of their convenience area. Trump card was as well seen as contentious, same's making a large work. Bolsonaro will do the identical.